Hey guys, welcome to my Geek Rant. So today I'm going to be talking about Kanan #1, the new Marvel comic about the character that we were introduced to in Star Wars Rebels. First, I'm going to get to the big elephant in the room for the expanded universe fans. Yes, Depa Balaba is in this story. Yes, she's no longer in her coma. So, just for some background, for those of you who are not previous expanded universe fans, now deemed as legends, Depa Balaba was actually in a coma at this point, and her actual future is, we never knew what happened with her. She's been in a few comics before. She was Mace Windu's apprentice. She was one of the first Jedi generals to go out and fight the war in the Clone Wars. But she was turned to the dark side through a few actions that happened, some war crimes that she committed during her campaign, which actually brings Windu to reprimand her and bring her back. But she falls to the dark side, falls into a coma, and we don't know what happens to her afterwards. So when we initially saw that in the Star Wars Rebels series that Kanan was once his apprentice called Caleb Dumb, or Caleb Doom, I don't know, and he was an apprentice to Depa Balaba, we were like, hey, she's kind of in a coma right now. What's going on? So, yes, so they do kind of actually allude to it. So this is actually probably the first she's not a major character, but this is a character that had an established storyline that we're seeing in the new canon, and they do actually reference back to what happened with her. They don't speak to it specifically. There's just a few instances, like Kanan, who actually is Caleb Doom in this story, because that's his name before he changes it. He actually references that she just a few months ago, like prior to the comic book, came out of something. Like, they didn't say coma, but they said like she came out of something and returned to the Jedi High Council. And then later on, there's another a general, a separatist general, who is saying, yeah, like, the Jedi is doing much better than I thought. I had reports that she was unstable. Obviously, those statements are untrue, or something like that. So what I think, if, like, again, like I said before, I tried to marry the Legends canon with the main canon, what I think is that, yes, she did come out of her coma eventually, which is not out of reason. People come out of comas all the time. She came out, and kind of like in the same way with Revan, maybe she lost some of her memories, or not lost her memories, but lost the actions of her when she went to the dark side. And so the Jedi probably, like, ran some tests on her and said, she's cool to come back to the Jedi Order. Let's put her back on the High Council, which doesn't really make sense to me. I think even if she did return, I don't know if they would immediately put her back on the highest council of the Jedi, Order. But even so, I think there's a particular moment. The big gripe that people have is that she's a practitioner of Form 3, which is an extremely defensive form, and when previously her form was Form 7, specifically Vapad, which is a very aggressive form. People are like, well, wait, why is she Form 3? Like, she was, this highly aggressive and offensive form before. But for me, again, trying to marry the two, I think it actually makes sense. Like, if she did come out of her coma and she previously had this stint with the dark side, I would think, hey, let's teach her a very passive, the most passive form possible, Form 3. So actually that makes sense. She comes out of her coma, they're like, okay, don't put her anywhere near Form 7 like they do with most Jedi anyway, and Form 3. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go back into her a little bit more, but I think I'm talking too much about Depa Balaba. This is a comic about Kanan, after all. So like I said, when he's an apprentice, we already knew about this in A New Dawn, but he was first named Caleb Doom. And what's cool about him in this comic book in general is that he actually now feels like he has a place within the Jedi, because before it was seeming like he wasn't going to be picked by a master because he kind of was like a troublesome kid. He asked too many questions, but that's what sort of helps him bond with Master Balaba. She's actually very questioning herself. Something else that they established from the original canon is that she opposed the Clone Wars initially. She opposed the military act and Jedi taking these titles as generals in the war, and I think that's what she likes. I think she likes that about Caleb, that he questions the authority, or not so much the authority, but the reason behind the authority's decisions. And she, for her too, she's kind of questioning whether or not her role in this war is correct, which I feel like they kind of went into a little bit in the Clone Wars animated series, but they didn't really dive in deep. And I think I'm glad that they're touching on that, is that some of the people in this war, they don't really like. I mean, like the neutral world, the neutral worlds, they don't like find the Republic to be heroes or the Separatists to be these villains. They don't. They see them as just two factions that they have to kind of choose a side because they have to, because they get caught up in it. But really, it's true. Like, what makes the Republic so much greater than the Separatists, although the Separatists do some pretty nasty stuff though. So, which actually, I don't understand how the people on this world, it's called Keller, I think, they were like, how are you going to be different from the Separatists? And like the Balaba's like, well, we're not going to impose you with forced labor, like, and then he's like, I don't see any difference. And like, it's like, there's a difference, bro. Like, but then Balaba even says like, it's going to be our actions that tell more than us just saying what we're gonna do. So that's a good point to that. And they also had a pretty good, this comic established a really good camaraderie with their soldiers, which of course, this is not a spoiler, but that Order 66 is gonna come and they're gonna kill off Balaba. But it's good that they're bringing up this this good relationship between the Jedi, because when Balaba says, oh, the Jedi should not even be in the war right now, we shouldn't be taking up arms in this, and then the clone trooper is like, hey, no, you guys are the reason why I'm alive, why we're all alive right now, why we're winning this war. I wouldn't take anyone besides you guys. Like the Jedi are helping us and bringing the Republic to victory and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. And that's been established too within the Clone Wars animated series, is that the clones have major respect for the Jedi. So it makes it even more heartbreaking that they have this like thing in their brain that triggers them to kill their friends, and it kind of sucks, kind of heartbreaking. Which, I mean, that's what we're gonna get probably in the next comic, because that's how it ends. Is they get the order to execute the Jedi. And what's even more heartbreaking is that now that Caleb has found his place within the Jedi, a place within the war, he feels wanted for once. And even like within the comic, it reads as like, this is great. I'm a Jedi. I get to like, be in the war. I finally get to be part of the action. And he gets a holocron from Deepa, and he's just really excited about life, and it's really hopeful. And then it's gonna suck when his friends are gonna try and like kill him. And I don't know. I think they're establishing it very well. It's funny because I actually did not think I would enjoy this. As a review, I actually probably enjoy this comic more than I do the original content stuff. And I really thought I was going to hate Rebels, and I thought I was going to hate Kanan in particular. And now like his story is becoming like the most thrilling thing for me. And I don't know, I like it a lot. I definitely suggest you guys read this, especially if you're into Rebels. Even if you're just into the Clone Wars era, that I would recommend it. But yeah, total recommendation. As always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, love, and may the Force be with you. Always.
They both held immense power with their use of the Force, Yoda as the Avatar of Light, Bane as the Nexus of the Dark.
No, why are you mowing your lawn right now? I'm recording a Let's Play. Even if that she did return,